My name is Tom Ryan. My address is 2205 Waterfall in Lee Summit. I have a law office downtown, which would be just east of this complex. The proponents indicated that they are experienced developers in Overland Park, Kansas City, and Manhattan, Kansas. They also are experienced here in Lee Summit. They've developed Town Center Development, Summit Oaks Apartment, and Ashbrook. Their website indicates that they're a leader in the development and management of conventional tax credit and HUD apartment communities. We were here on Tuesday night, and it's pretty unusual to come to a planning commission on Tuesday night and be back on Thursday night for the chamber, for the council. And the reason is there's just a rush to get this through. For some reason, they say it's financing. They got to get it to the lender by the end of April. Most of the people that spoke on the about the project were neighbors around my office or on Jefferson Street. Most of them realize there's a need for apartments in downtown Lee Summit. Most of us were shocked at a 4-story rendering that was submitted at that time. They cleaned up their application today, and they asked for a mixed-use zoning change, indicating there might be retail. You'll see the first floor indications look like there may be shops. We were told on Tuesday night that it would be 100% housing. 4 stories, 125 units. That's 25 units per floor, 800 square feet per unit. This is an overwhelming project. It's a behemoth. It's going to cover downtown. I'm really familiar with Mr. Johnson asked about the project in 2008, which was right next door to my office. And the applicant came over to me and said, "Do you oppose this?" And I said, "No, I don't oppose it. You want condominiums there. You're selling them for $250,000 each. And I don't think people are going to spend $250,000 across from a railroad track on a condominium." And he said, "Well, you're old, and you wouldn't understand that. Most of us are old that border downtown Lee Summit. Not opposed to apartment housing, opposed to subsidized housing. Is anyone concerned on the city council that this developer manages well-known subsidized housing in Lee Summit?" I have police blotter reports from Town Center, from Ashbrook Apartments in April and in March at each one of these projects. I can't call them projects, they're apartment communities. To be really politically correct, I have to call them apartment communities. But if you want to have that type of thing in downtown Lee Summit, it'll start out as ownership, single-family ownership. They cannot sustain 125 units, full occupancy. When you rent, you're always having people move in and out, in and out. They'll be doing well to have 75% occupancy. After 2 or 3 years, they'll ask for a HUD application or rental assistance. I really had I know when I have gone to different communities and when I was here in Lee Summit, and I'd listen to the proposals, and I'd always hear about landscaping. And this project will have no landscaping. It's going to go from the sidewalk on Market Street to the sidewalk on Jefferson Street. There's not going to be, you won't see a tree. That's kind of a misconception. Maybe the trees are across the street. Now, they probably are across the street in the vacant lot, because they're going from sidewalk to sidewalk. There's just I don't see the rush to get this done. The city staff feels we need housing downtown. We don't need any more bars. We have bars. The people that live in this project, supposedly the key word here is millennials and empty nesters. I don't know that they coexist, but we hear that now for every project in the city, how people are going to be working at Cerner and the millennials will need this housing. This is a lot different than the new Longview apartments. These are different type apartments. It's going to lead to subsidized housing. The developers, they say they're going to be around Lee Summit all year because they're developing other projects over on Douglas. And they say, don't judge us by this project. We're going to come back. We're going to come back. We're going to fix things. This is the first shot. Usually, the first shot has screening, it has landscaping, it has conceptions, and the final project we're all pretty much disappointed in, but we're from Lee Summit and we're satisfied. It's not Johnson County, but this is as best you're going to get. That it's going to look different than that. That's as good as you're going to get. Thank you.